We have grand final time now. It is Taxon, MarciN, Darker, and Raizo, or maybe it's Raizo, who knows, in the grand final. They have just banned some maps, and we will go live now with the grand final. We have a total prize pool of €100, which is really cool if I say so myself. The distribution is, I think it's 50, 30, then 15, and €5 for the last person. But let me check for a moment. Let me check it. Yup, that's exactly the case. I was assuming the right thing. So everyone who has made it that far is already a winner and has granted themselves €5 at least. And of course, the victorious player will go home with €50, which is really cool. We can see, can you feel the sunshine here? And we will start now. Of course, the point limit is 120 now. Point repetition is still 10, 6, 4, and 3. And we will play till a point of 120. So good luck. Are we starting it or not? I think so. Maybe they're gonna restart. I have no idea. But I think we will start now with the first round on Can You Feel the Sunshine. Let's go. Let's follow Taxon, who has made it in the first semifinal, as well as MarciN. So they had a little bit of a longer break here compared towards Darker and Raizo, who had a very thrilling semifinal beforehand, if I can say so. So it will be a banger of a fight. Taxon and Raizo with a very good start, as you can see here. So both of them did it pretty good. And now they need to clear the speed check. Taxon does it really good, but so did it Raizo. Raizo with a more inside line. So remember, you a little bit in freewheel in this section. And now the identity coming up. Oh my god, Raizo does it really good. Taxon with a mistake, but what was that Raizo approach? He is really pushing it here. So this was really good for the Polish, no, not for the Polish player, for the Slovakian player. Or Slovakian. So he is getting his first place and a 54.97. What is this time? Oh my god, fastest set time today. He is giving a sign. Taxon actually getting second with that one. Darker in third. And then we have MarciN, who is having a sloppy start again. But first, let's check the straw poll here. It's actually everyone thinking either MarciN or Taxon winning this one, because they have made it from the first semifinal into this grand final now. So those are the fan favorites here. And now we will go into the second round here on Can You Feel the Sunshine? Can you feel it? I can't feel it right now because it's cloudy, but that's something else. Darker, who has accumulated 4 points in the round beforehand, is right now in last place. And MarciN is pushing it alongside with Raizo. So everyone is clearing that speed check. And yeah, of course, you have this little small block there, as you can see here. It is actually a freewheel, as you can see, but you can touch that with a bad jump. And this is what the purpose is for. Taxon does it this time really good again. I mean, he survived and got himself 6 points in the round before, but also Raizo also in second place. And then we have MarciN falling behind again. So he won't have a say, but Taxon choking the ending. And Taxon from first to last in a blink of an eye. So Taxon choking the first place here. And this is not what the German player has wanted. And you can see only one French player has made it to the grand final. So this is pretty rare, as it seems here in this kind of situation, since you usually see more than one French person in the grand final, but a considerable amount of players were non-French this time around. Okay, moving into the third round on this map. I forgot to mention that we play 3 rounds on every map with 1 warm-up on the first rotation, and I think we have 4 maps in total. And when the rotation will go to the first map again, the warm-up will be skipped. So now, Raizo with a good jump, but Taxon with a better landing. So Taxon again in first place, deja vu from the round beforehand. But looking good for Taxon to clock in a 10-pointer. Yes, to survive this. This looks very good. Not the best landing though, but he survives it. But oh, it is MarciN now in first place. And he could grant himself some valuable points after only 4 maps that he has collected in this first 2 rounds so far. So MarciN could make this happen. Yes, he will do so. Darker is just behind him in second place. Then we have Taxon in third and Raizo, who's also able to finish, but only in last place. So he has made a mistake, but manages to stay ahead, or clears the jump, let's say like that. And Raizo is in last, but not in the ranking. There he is still in first with 23 points. Darker in second. MarciN actually in third. And then we have Taxon, after an unfortunate choke, finding himself in last place. Now we have River Lake, a map that yeah, a lot of players banned so far, or for now, but we see this one in the grand final. It was Taxon, I think, banning it in the semifinal, and now we have it in the grand final. Okay. MarciN with the first mistake, but of course it is warm-up, as I've said beforehand, and you can just restart. So we tried to do this map backwards when we were waiting for the other players. It was really interesting to do. Taxon off to a good warm-up. Let me drink something, my throat. Okay. So looking good for Taxon in the warm. This transition is very decisive, and also the ending. But you will see that in a minute. Because you should opt for an inside line. And you should be, and then you have to clear this jump here. This is also again a speed check, as you can see here. MarciN is doing it because he had a lot of speed, but it's easier said than done. You will see players performing very close jumps there. And now we will go into, wait, what the hell? What is opening here? And now we will go into the first live round here on River Lake. There's Raizo with a good start. Darker and MarciN as well. But where is Taxon? Taxon 1.5 seconds behind. So this is bad news for the German player, as he finds himself as well in that last placement at the moment with 13 points only. So unfortunate stuff for him. But yet pretty good performance by him. MarciN in first with a comfortable lead here. And then we have Raizo on third. Darker in the sandwich here. But he goes a little bit further away from Raizo. You can't really hear him that much. And he is not making any sort of progress towards Darker here in this section. Darker comes tiny tad closer towards MarciN in this section. No, actually not. So this is a very anticlimactic round, and it looks like MarciN will clock in a 10 points. And also look at this, Taxon is overtaking Raizo in this section. But who will it be? Will it be Taxon or Raizo for that 4-pointer? It will be Raizo who stays ahead of Taxon, and MarciN in first. So 105.31. Very good time, as you can see. It is also MarciN who has local one on this track. So great round there from all of the players. I mean, it is dirt, and if you make a mistake on dirt, it can be very unforgiving. So fair enough. Okay, better start now for Taxon. I mean, bear in mind, he was 1.5 seconds behind in the first round at the start. And now it's a way better start, but touches the triangle there. And also, Raizo had to readjust his line here. And it's now, and also the gear down for him. So very bad news for Raizo. And it's now Darker and MarciN betting out for a 10-pointer here. Of course, Darker is really in need of it because he's only at 22 points. So MarciN with a good amount of speed in this section extends his lead to 0.15 of a second. Greatly done by him. Then we have Darker just a little bit behind, but gets a good transition here. So Raizo won't come any closer towards him. Looking good, looking good. MarciN in first still, and he will remain there. And MarciN will grant himself yet again another 10-pointer with another 105.33 time. So very good time there by MarciN as well. And Raizo in third. And we have Taxon, unfortunately, again behind. So only 3 points for him in this round. And he's losing ground towards Darker, Raizo, and MarciN here. So this is not good for him, as he's only at 19 points so far. This is not what he wants. He wants more than that. Taxon with a very good start. Look at that. It's looking very good for the German player this time around. MarciN is a little bit further behind, but still in the mix. Actually has more speed than Taxon here in this section, but it's very close. MarciN, however, with a godlike approach there and just tears apart. But it seems that Taxon had a really bad alignment here for this part as well. So this is, it's bad news for Taxon here, because he is really in need of some points, because players will just run away. Of course, the point limit is 120, but this can be very soon over if MarciN will continue like this and players will just go away after every round that will pass. The difference will be significantly higher, because Taxon only granting himself 4 points this round. He will survive the speed check. Yes, he will. MarciN again with a very good time in first with a 105.12. So what a great time by him. So he's just playing so good here. 3 out of 3 map victories. MarciN is just insane on this map. And yeah, guys, I know I said insane, but this is just the case. Very good performance by him. As we go to the next map, it is Mech Molda, or however it's pronounced. A map by Taxon again. And we have MarciN in the lead, 10 points ahead of Darker and Raizo, who are both sitting there with 34 points. And then Taxon, 11 additional points behind Raizo there. And also Darker, of course, because they have both this same amount of points. So warm-up is starting. And we can see the locals here. Let's check them out. We have Clear Vision, who unfortunately went out there at the first local. Darker as second. Taxon in local 4. MarciN in local 5. And then who's still missing is none other than Raizo in local 8. So good times to everyone with the top 10 time today. Those aren't the all-time locals, but the locals that were set today. And Darker does a really good time with a 46.59. As you can see, this is beating Raizo's PB. And also gets really close towards MarciN's PB. 100th away. But let's go with the first live round here on Mech Molder. Interesting map name, not gonna lie. Raizo off to a good start, as well as Taxon and Darker. The only player dropped a little bit behind is MarciN. So not looking good, but just when I say that, it's Darker with a mistake. So he won't have a saying here in this round. It's super close here between Raizo and Taxon in this section. Taxon now have the upper end, also has accumulated a lot of speed in this section. So he will extend his lead towards Raizo, both almost jumping away. But this is really looking good for the German player here. He is extending his lead and he is 0.4 ahead. Raizo not with the best section here. Make it 0.5. Is he able to clear that speed check? Yes, he is, but only very close. But Taxon is on a banger of a time. Look at this. What time will it be? It will be a 46.27. What a great time by Taxon. 0.2 ahead of the local 2. And this is what he needs. This is exactly what he needs. Taxon with a very good time and his first 10-pointer of this grand final. What a great time by Taxon. Impressive. So now it's getting cozy, and maybe Taxon can make this take this momentum with him into the next round. Oh, we see again MarciN not with the best start, and also Taxon had to readjust his line, so they are a little bit further behind, but nothing that can't be really caught up to. Darker and Raizo is here 1P1 and 2, but Taxon again, look at this speed. Oh my god, he's just activating his boost there. He activates his turbo. So Taxon now up to P1 again. Battling it out with Darker. And this is getting spicy here. Taxon with a godlike approach. Not the best amount of speed, but Raizo with a mistake. And it will be Taxon again in first. One flip is remaining for the German player. Will he make it happen? And this looks very good for Taxon. Again, a first place for him. Greatly done. What a nice comeback by Taxon. Oh my god. Now up to 43 points and up to that second place, which will be occupied by both Raizo and Taxon, and Darker will drop down to last. Wow, what a close final. But MarciN will eventually stay more ahead because he granted himself this 6-pointer there. So what a great line there from Taxon. Really want to stress that one out. And it could actually end on this track. So this could be his luck there from Taxon. As we see MarciN again, not with a good start here. But his ending section seemed to be pretty good because he granted himself that second place. But let's see what Taxon is doing, as well as Darker, both with more speed than Raizo. But Taxon jumps to Narnia, was able to grant himself that CP, but he won't have a saying yet, as well as Darker. So MarciN now up to P1. Very good stuff there for him, as he has not the fastest start. But MarciN now really capitalizing from those lines from all of the players. The risk, but Raizo could make it happen here. Raizo's risking it, but MarciN will take that first place. Raizo in second after a wonky ending. Then we have Darker and Taxon P2, 3 and 4. So now, unfortunately, Taxon will drop down to last, not second last, because Darker only got 4 points there. So still pretty close there for that second place so far. MarciN is 12 points, no, I mean 15 points ahead of Raizo at the moment. But of course, the point limit is 120, so everything can happen here. So now, I think this is the last real warm-up on No More Worker Cut. A map that was really decisive in the other semi-final, and we had some issues on. But I think this time around it won't happen. A very cool map. I think we have seen this one in the Elity Cup 2 as well. And the locals are as following. We have MarciN in first, Raizo in third. Then there is Bresso, who unfortunately didn't qualify for the grand final, in fourth. And then Darker in fifth and Taxon in sixth local. So top 6 in general for all of the players here, who have come pretty far, except of Hugo. And this Raizo approach was so risky in the semi-final. That was the map that has made him advance to the grand final here. So this can be very, very interesting. Let's see what time MarciN is dropping here in the warm-up. I think that is a 104. Oh my god. 104.32. What a time. This is 0.2 behind WR. Oh my god. Holy shit. What was that time? Holy moly, man. What a great time by the Polish player. And he shows why he is in that... he's right now in first place. So great performance by him so far. Let's follow him for the first round, as he's right now not in the best position. But everything can happen, of course. Who was that? I think that was... No, that was Darker, actually, who has made the mistake there. Oh, no, wait, what? I thought that looked like a mistake. So I don't know what had happened there. But he is still alive, as we see MarciN in first right now. Then Taxon behind, but Raizo with a very good approach, but risking it too much. And therefore, Raizo will drop down to P4 with that. Taxon jumps super close to the right. But he could grant himself a 6-pointer here. MarciN just looks unstoppable on those tracks here. As you can see, he's in first place right now. Good approach for him, and he will extend his lead. No, actually not. Taxon with a little bit more speed. Darker goes super far up on the bubble, and it is MarciN in first, but Taxon, here he comes. Taxon with a good approach to that last part, but MarciN is still ahead, and this will be another 104. Look at this time, 104.87. What a great time. Darker stays in second and Taxon in third after that really weird ending there. And yeah, so Taxon gets overtaken there. by Darker, and Raizo in second place, but only granted himself 3 points in this round, so Darker and Taxon will come closer towards him. MarciN is just dominating this match right now. Look at this. After this wonky start from him, he really found himself back into the groove, and is right now up to 74 points. Great performance for him. But in general, it's very close here for that second place. I mean, MarciN is still dominating this one, but everyone behind that is just pushing it. But Taxon with a very good section. You look at this. Taxon is right now in first place, followed up by MarciN, Darker, and then Raizo a little bit behind, 0.3 of a second. So he has to take a lot of risks to make something happen, but good approach here from Raizo. But look how close this is, 200s between all of the players. Taxon almost went into the pole there, but what is this fight? What is this round? MarciN with a lot of speed as well as Darker, so they will overtake Taxon here in this ending, but Taxon will go up to second place again because Darker didn't make it too good, but MarciN again in first with a 104.56. What a great time. And then Taxon with local 4 in second place. Can you believe it? But yeah, Taxon granting himself 6 points into his bank account and is now up to second place with Raizo again. So back and forth here between all of those 3 players. But MarciN is just granting himself those 10 pointers that he is really in need of. As we go into the last round here on No More Worker Cut, it's Darker with a good start. Look at this speed, as well as MarciN and Raizo. MarciN gets a better jump. Raizo jumps a little bit lower, so therefore he will accelerate later, but of course didn't have more speed than them. But gets a good drift section here, so Raizo wants to deny MarciN the perfect map here after his prior perfect map as well. So he had 5 victories in a row. Just to take it into consideration, this is a very good performance against those players. So MarciN's streak could be broken here if Raizo will remain in first. Darker is actually overtaking MarciN as well. And Raizo still is extending his lead even to 0.27 of a second. But MarciN comes closer and MarciN wants that first place. Look at this ending from MarciN. Oh my god, are you kidding me? What was this ending? But he's risking it too much and is not making it. And therefore it's Raizo in first. And it is actually MarciN dropping down to P3, Darker in 4th, and Taxon eventually granting himself another 6-pointer. But since Raizo granted himself 10 points, he is 4 points behind him. Quick maths, boys. Quick maths. But what an ending there. What a risk. Holy moly. What a risk there from MarciN. He really wanted to take his momentum, or the momentum with him. So now we have Soltech, and it seems that we had no maps banned here with that. So every map is in the pool, as it seems. And now we have Soltech, which is a map where MarciN has occupied the local 1, Taxon local 2, and then we have where are the other players though? I think they have not really played this track too much because it was played in the first semi-final. Let us search for Raizo and for Darker. No, they have not played this track today, as it seems. So this is very good there for MarciN and Taxon. I'm not sure how fast Raizo and Darker are on this track, but I mean, concerning the experience in a match, it could be huge for both of them. It could be huge for them. So now, why is this guy standing at the start? Just leave the server, man. This is causing lags, because if the skin loads... Oh my... What was that time? Holy shit. So 103.05 from MarciN. I'm not sure what WR is, but I think sub 103 here. So MarciN, 88 points for him. Very good performance. And he is about to clock in maybe yet another 10 pointer, but don't count out Taxon here on this track. He's doing very good. As you can see, he's in first, but also Raizo's in the mix. So great start from all the players. Only Darker who fell a little bit behind and didn't have the best line over this stretch. Went too far outside there, but look at this. It's so close. 600 between all the players, but MarciN makes the mistake. So he's stumbling after that winning streak that he have had in the last couple of rounds. He is not making it happen as we see Taxon now in first. So this is great news there for the German player, as Raizo is finding himself 0.2 of a second behind. Didn't get the best line over this stretch here where he really wants to have a lot of speed. So looking good for Taxon to clock in the first 10-pointer here on this tag map for him. And also good news for Raizo for a 6-pointer. So 6 points are always nice. And Taxon with a 103.92 in first. 29 in first. Why did I say 92? Because of this. I just read the last two thingies. But great stuff there from Taxon. 72 points. Coming closer towards MarciN. And also is tied now again with Raizo. Darko with 61 points in last right now. Maybe a little bit of a better round for MarciN. Ooh, he goes super close there to the barrier. To that limitation of the block. But he got it really good here. As you can see, he's just... Oh, this is such a beautiful line. He grants himself so much speed there compared towards both of the players. And he will move up to the lead. Taxon, however, will still have a chance. And also Raizo with a very good line comes back strong and battles his third place here. As you can see, as Darker is not having the best line in this section. So it's between Taxon and MarciN. But just when I said that it is Taxon, I think he had a mistake. And oh my god! Raizo and MarciN both with the same mistake. And Darker will eventually be in first place. What is happening? Oh my god, both with the same mistake. I was not expecting that. And Darker is just saving it. He can save it and he will grant himself a 10-pointer. What the hell? So Taxon in second with that. Raizo in third and MarciN again throwing away some points. Oh no. What is happening? So Taxon granting himself a free 6-pointer there. And again, it is Raizo making a mistake. As you can see there, he finds himself half a second behind the leader, who's right now, yeah, undecided. I'm undecided for that. But MarciN with a better line here compared to what Taxon. But good speed for both players here, as you can see. But Taxon got it better, so Taxon can stand a chance against MarciN here. But MarciN just gets this turn the best. Look at the wrist there from Taxon. And both Raizo and MarciN here. I mean, not Raizo. MarciN and Taxon. Man, it was a long day. 8 hours of streaming, but MarciN still in first. And then we have Darker in third place because he didn't get the best trajectory here. And Taxon in second. So MarciN could surpass this 100 points barrier. Taxon is still in first. And he could come closer, or he could move away from Raizo here. So good news from Taxon here. As you can see, Taxon granting himself second place. Darker in third. And then we have Raizo after that mistake only in last place. And MarciN again with a 10-pointer in this round. So great stuff there from MarciN. 20 points ahead of the leader, of the second place. Oh my god. This is such a good performance, man. Very good performance, man. By MarciN. Despite he had the mistake. So now we have Fuck Rammstein by Tacoons. As we can see the map. We have a castle here. And the castle. So this is the finish. And you go outside the castle. And then inside it again. With a jump. And then you can cut this ending here. You can, if you gather a lot of speed over this stretch here, you can jump over this block here. Over this block. Avoid this pillar here. And also avoid this thingy and this thingy here. And then bug slide into this finish. And it was Raizo who did this really good. So maybe he can do this in the warm-up as well. As he's in first right now. What? I don't get it. What is that? Okay, that's the point. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, look at Raizo with the tricksters. Oh, this landing there on the slope was more craigasm, guys. I don't think so. Or are they? Are those valley castles? They look so much different than valley castles. I'm not sure about this, Iona, actually. But could be. But you can see you have the start here. Players are going through here. And then you have the finish here as well. So let's have our T-tours here. Our cameraman. Yeah, working out. And what happened towards Darker and MarciN there in this round? So it is only Taxon and Raizo right now in first and second place. Taxon at 84 and then his direct opponent with 79 points just behind him. 0.1 of a second is tearing those players apart. And it's looking good for Taxon that he clocks in another 10-pointer into his account here. And this could put him up 94 at 94 points and closer towards MarciN there. Because MarciN has made a mistake. But look at this. It is actually MarciN now in second place. Because it is Raizo who's made a mistake as well. So Raizo is throwing for skins here. And Taxon can take it easy. This is a free 10-pointer for the German player. Good landing here into this part. I would not risk the ending here. I would just save it. This would be the best way. And he will do so. Smart decision by Taxon. And then we have MarciN who's risking it, as well as Raizo, but both not making it. And Taxon actually just local 3 with saving the ending, because everyone has failed it. So great job there from Taxon. As, yeah, MarciN is throwing now, and actually it is Raizo granting himself that second place. And Darker in third. Some interesting things that have happened in this round. And now Taxon is up to 94 points and to second place. Good performance here from Taxon in this round. And he's still yet again in first place. And MarciN in second. But Raizo with a mistake. So this is very good news for Taxon yet again. He just needs those 10 points. But what is happening? Taxon and MarciN both with a no slide. And therefore it will be Darker, who's right now in last place. Move up to that first place. So what is going on, guys? Can you explain it to me? Everyone is driving kind of weird today. But yeah, this can happen, of course, as we see Darker in first. Then we have MarciN in second with 1 second behind. And then a battle for that third place between Raizo and Taxon. 0.1 of a second between those players. There's not a real more difference compared to the other players, because MarciN is 0.1 second behind and is Taxon with an unnecessary risk there. But of course, if you're last, you can do that. So it was maybe good. So it's okay, because if you're last, you have to risk. But I would have risked here, as we can see MarciN and Darker both with a mistake. And it will be Raizo in second with that. Almost overtaking Darker here in the ending. What the fuck was that? MarciN in third and then Taxon eventually finishing in last place. But what is this ending? Are you kidding me? So Darker now up to 89 points, and he is also coming closer. But since MarciN has finished, he's now up to 111 points. This means one finish away of him granting himself the finalist mode. And we could see a dirt map coming up very soon. So not sure if this suits MarciN that good. As we see Raizo again with a mistake. But this time around, no, not a lot of players have made a mistake here in this part. Darker in first, then we have MarciN and Taxon battling out for that second place. MarciN with a very good landing, and he wants to push it. He wants to clock it in. Those 10 pointers here, but Darker wants to have something against, or has something against that, and is still in first, as we have MarciN with way more speed. Look at this line from MarciN. This was like picture perfect. Oh, what a great line there from MarciN. But of course, this ending is remaining, and this ending can be risked so much. Oh, Taxon gets his butt down. So this was very good for him, and he will move up to that second place. But MarciN also got it very good. But now the ending is remaining. 10 seconds to go. MarciN is risking it for the biscuit here. Gathers a lot of speed, and Taxon not with the best amount of speed, so he won't make it into the risky finish. Or is he doing it? No, he's not doing it. MarciN in first, and MarciN will not grant him the will. Oh my god. Because everyone has failed the ending again. So MarciN in finalist. Raizo in second, and then we have Taxon in third. And Darker finishing in last. But what is happening here? MarciN now up to finalist mode. Taxon surpassing 100 points. And Raizo up to 97 points. All players are throwing for skins, kind of. So let's see. He has at least 2 finalist attempts to work with. Until it is Taxon who will accompany him to the finalist mode. If he will win 2 rounds in a row. Now we have brain lag. As the last map of this rotation, as it seems. The players are currently warming up. Okay. So we will see how many players will go against this branch and how many players will fail this ending, as we see Taxon with a good ending section here. So this will be a clown fiesta in the ending, and I will put my brave cameraman just in this finish here. So some T-Tours action, of course. Who will hit this cameraman? Oh, and he's already damaged. Oh, he has to get a new one. But who will hit this cameraman first? Or this camera will be the victorious player. This will be a photo finish. As you can see, he is ready. So Darker, Raizo, and Taxon have to deny MarciN the victory here. Because he's in finalist mode and he could clock in 50 euro, as we see Raizo with a very good start compared towards all the other players. MarciN, however, comes back strong with a very good line. Look at this. So MarciN now up to first place, and this is looking really good for the Polish player. He could very well use his first finalist attempt. Look at this. Good landing for him, and then we have Raizo a little bit behind, but MarciN is actually extending his lead here in this section, and only the ending is remaining for him. And this slide, of course, MarciN could make it happen in his first finalist attempt. Good jump there from MarciN. Let's see the cameraman here. Will he make it? MarciN, only 1 jump remain, and he will do so. MarciN wins Elity Cup 3. GG. What a great performance by him, by the Polish player. What a nice performance. I can just stress that one out. But using the first finalist attempt, getting finalist that early, that was just very well played. MarciN 50 euro richer. But we are, of course, playing for that second and third place. Because second place will go home with 30 euro. And third place will go home with 15 euro. And also fourth place will, get 5 euros. So a little bit of money. Better than nothing. But yeah, no one is finalist yet. As we see Taxon at 105 and Raizo at 103 points. So Taxon needs 1 first and second place. But Raizo needs to win all of the rounds now in order to grant himself finalist mode in 2 rounds. Looking good for Raizo so far, as Taxon is in second. And then we have Darker in third. Good speed for him, but Taxon comes closer. And now we have this ending remaining. Let's see who's gonna make it the best. Who will it be? It looks like Raizo will do it. Good flip for him, but Taxon almost snipes it. But that wasn't the case. Darker only in third this round. So Raizo now up to that second place with 113 points. And Taxon with 111 in second. And second from the players who are still playing, of course. Darker at 99 points, but he can still make something happen here. On the last round on brain lag. So you won't see this map again. As we will go to the first map after that again. Which will be none other than Can You Feel the Sunshine? And then we have River Lake after that. if I didn't miss out on any map. Maybe there's a map that we have not played yet. Maybe the dirt map also. Maybe they got banned. Who knows? So Taxon in the lead. Raizo is just behind him, and we could see a double final. Now we can't actually see a double final situation because either Raizo or Taxon is too far away with the second place. Okay. Raizo taking a lot of risk, but this is for the finals attempt. Who will take it? Taxon or Raizo? Let's keep the camera here on Raizo. Raizo with a good flip, but Taxon, bonk! Just a very good flip for Taxon there, and he will move up to finalist mode. And Raizo with the face slap, 119 points for him. And Taxon has one finalist attempt alone. Then we have Darko with 103 points in 4th place. Yeah, actually we have the dirt map now. So those reps were missing. I was thinking about that correctly. See here the mad cameraman with his ending here. We have to clear some this obstacle part here and then squeeze yourself into the finish. This jump can be pretty tricky, but doable, of course. So players are currently warming up. Who will grant himself that second place? Will it be Raizo, who has made a lot of mistakes and unfortunately is at 119 points? Or will it be Taxon, who is already finalist and played pretty good in this grand final? Or will it maybe even be Darker, who is at 103 points but also can make something happen, has won 1 or 2 rounds, if not even more, and has also played pretty good? We will see very soon. So warm-up has come to an end. And we are about to start. Let's follow Raizo. He needs to deny Taxon, or also Darker. They need to deny Taxon the victory here. And it's looking good for Raizo. Good start for him, but also for Taxon, finding himself 0.02 of a second ahead of Raizo here in this section. Also very good here for him. Goes super far to the inside there, but manages to stay ahead. Taxon with a very good uphill and extends his lead to 0.2 of a second. So this is really looking good for the German player as Raizo come into touch with the barrier there. So Taxon is extending his lead to 1/4 of a second. Look at this. This is looking really good for Taxon. Only the ending is remaining for him. And this could be the GG for him. Taxon goes super good up there. So Taxon will grant himself that second place. Great performance for him. GG. And actually a 54.16 is also a very good time. As you can see, this is local 3 material. And Taxon will be second and therefore will go home with 30 euro. Well played. And now Raizo or Darker, who will grant himself 15 and 5 euro. Who will it be? We have to distribute that. Raizo is now finalist after he has finished this round because he was at 119 points. Darker with a good start. Look at this. And Raizo is a little bit behind, 0.2 of a second. But still something can be happening here. Can happen in the end. Make it 700s now. Darker with a good transition though. But also Raizo's here in the mix. But it is still very equal towards that prior CP. Make it 0.505 of a second now. Darker versus Raizo in this ending. Who will it be? It is super close. Raizo goes for the Trickster. Oh, but touches there and goes for the barrel. So Darker will deny Raizo the victory here. And we will see yet another round. So it is Darker, yeah, who still needs to finish one more round over Raizo to give himself a chance for the final, for the finalist. Because he's at 117 points now. And of course he has to deny. And he has to deny Raizo. Next attempt here for Raizo. Second finalist attempt. Darker at 117. So we will see a maximum of 2 rounds now. Oh, but Darker with a mistake. Oh no, you hate to see that. And it's a free round for Raizo if he's not choking it. So Raizo is 2 seconds ahead of Darker here at this point. Oh, but he has made the mistake and Darker will come closer. But I think it's not enough for him because he has touched in the uphill where you slow down anyway. So Raizo now up to first and he can take it easy. Goes for an interesting line, but still was able to not slow down there. So Raizo will grant himself that 3rd place. GG towards him. Well played, Raizo in 3rd place. And this will conclude the Elity Cup 3. GG to all of the players. MarciN wins it. 50 euro into his pocket. 30 euro for Taxon. Then we have Raizo in 3rd, winning 15 euro, and Darker also going home with 5 euro. GG. So the players from semi-final 1 just shining through. MarciN winning it over Taxon. And then Raizo. After Taxon has beaten MarciN in the semi-final, it's MarciN who was really strong in the mid part of the map, or in the cup here. And yeah, good performance by all of the players. Thanks for letting me cast the cup, and thanks you guys for watching. It was a little bit of a brokeback cast today because I didn't sleep too long, but nonetheless I had a lot of fun, and hopefully you still enjoyed that cast. Because I certainly had fun, but it could have been better. But it isn't like that if you're not like